Caeau shaft was once part of the Hulkin mountain lead mining complex. It was finally sealed with a concrete cover in 1942. The shaft bottom is connected to the Miller Tunnel and is the most suitable access point to inspect and carry out the planned second stage remedial work within the tunnel. The 200-metre deep shaft diameter ranges from 2.5 to 3 metres. The top section of the shaft has been lined with stone walling, with the remainder being unlined. Several shaft insets had been identified from a laser survey. This also indicated that there was a 9-metre blockage at the shaft bottom. The blockage comprised of old ropes, pipes, debris and other shaft furnishings. SES was contracted by Amey to carry out the remedial works identified by the project designers Wardell Armstrong, with the remit to prepare and install a suitable and compliant man winding system into the shaft. This would enable a thorough inspection and relevant safety works to be completed, which included making a safe access into the tunnel to enable the remedial works to be carried out. Site preparation commenced in May 2017 and the area around the shaft was levelled to 1 metre below the shaft cover, and a compacted bed was installed to provide a base for site cabins and vehicular access. In June 2017, we exposed and removed the shaft cap. This was facilitated by the use of specialist hydraulic jacks, which allowed us to raise the cap free of the shaft lining. This made the final cap removal much easier. To maintain the shaft top integrity, a bespoke steel tube was fabricated and installed in the shaft top opening. This also became the shutter for the concrete base slab to accommodate the new headframe and winder house. The adopted headframe design was arrived at after a detailed consultation period between design engineers, SES and the HSE. The headframe design complied with the Mines Regulations 2014 and the Mines Shafts and Winding Regulations 1993. The Safe Man Riding in Mines Parts 1, 2 and 3 documentation were used as best practice guidelines. As part of this process, consideration was given to the load demands, speed requirements, duties, environment and duration in the design process. The bespoke headgear was fabricated by a specialist manufacturing company and included an inspection deck, access ladders, guide rope anchor points and overwind provision. The headframe was proof-built prior to site installation. Load tests were carried out on site as part of the commissioning process. By using the same philosophy utilised for the headframe process, a bespoke man-riding conveyance was manufactured. A purpose-built winding house was constructed to ensure that the two-man riding winches, associated safety equipment and various control apparatus were kept in a protected environment. The installation of the winding system, once commissioned, allowed our skilled team to commence clearing the shaft of obstructions. It was during this phase that we installed ventilation ducting and services throughout the shaft. This ensured that the teams were working in fresh air and radon levels were kept within the statutory limits contained in the HSE document EH40 limits. A temporary safe working area was established above the shaft blockage to allow us to safely and efficiently remove the debris to the surface. Due to the high water volumes in the shaft, high-capacity pumps were utilised throughout this period. Once our team had cleared all the debris and made safe the area, we installed and commissioned a shaft-bottom guided system and safety gate. Now that access was available to the Miller Tunnel, the remedial works could be commenced. Due to the inclement conditions in the shaft and tunnel, additional PPE and other safety equipment were utilised at all times. SES teams then successfully consolidated all the identified areas of the tunnel that required remediation during this phase. This consisted of the installation of roof bolts and steel straps, together with additional mesh where required. Strata monitoring stations were also installed at various points throughout this area. Upon completion, a permanent steel cover was installed to cover the shaft opening and the site left suitable for future re-entry works. SES completed the works on time, within budget, and most importantly, with zero accidents within the tunnel, whilst working in extremely hazardous and arduous conditions. SES, market leaders in world-class engineering services.